Thank you for the organization Chazaq. They're doing so much for Kiruv and to spread the Torah all over here and all over the world. Through the lectures. You don't know what's the schut that if somebody make another Jew even just wants to do any mitzvah, even if he didn't do it in the end, just if he had the rule of thinking that maybe I'm going to change this already big thing. Because we know in the bad side, for example, if somebody tell his friend, let's do any avera, let's go together to Cancun, okay? For example, let's sit on the beach over there. And he says, no, I don't want to go. The guy that convinced him to come, he did avera? The Torah said, yes. If somebody is mesit, his friend, let's go do avodah zarah, says the Torah, he is chayav death penalty even if the guy didn't convince. You can't convince him. He says, no, I'm Baruch Hashem. But you try to take him to the bad path, you get punished. So how much more so if you try only to convince somebody to become Chazaq b'Torah v'mitzvot v'yirat shamayim, so how much more so you get tzachar, even if the guy telling you, it's not for me. But you just try. So Chazaq, not only they try, they also succeed. So they have also the schut of the mitzvah himself. I want to tell you a story that the Gemara brings down in Masechet Gitin when it says over there the story of the Churban bayit. One of the reasons that the Gemara said that the Churban, the destroy of the temple happened, everybody knows the story of Kamsa Bar Kamsa. But there is another story not so familiar that the Gemara brings down. The Gemara says, Maaseh be'adam echad. Was a story with one man, Shulya de Nagre. He was the helper of the Nagar. Nagar in English, I think it's called carpenter. We're going to make chairs, carpenter. So he was the helper of him. And he came to him and told him, listen, I heard rumors about your wife. So he told me, what do you want me to do? He says, divorce her. You heard rumors, you heard people speak about your wife, divorce her. He says, I don't have a proof. If I divorce her, I have to pay ketubah. Somebody divorces his wife, he has to pay the ketubah. He said, I don't have the money, how could I divorce her? This helper told him, don't worry, I will lend you the money. How much you need? $5,000, I will give it to you. And he gave him the money. And the carpenter, this Nagar, divorced his wife and paid her the $5,000. And he went and married her. He went and married her. The time came, he has to pay the $5,000. He called him and said, where's the money? He didn't have money to pay. Amar lo, you don't have money to pay me back? Bo ve'aseh imi bechovcha. Come and work in my house, and this is going to be the payment. Ve'hayu hem yoshvim ve'ochlim ve'shotim. There was his ex-wife and this guy, היו אוכלים ושותים, והיה הוא עומד ומשקה עליהם, he used to pour for them the wine, והיו דמעות נושרות מעיניו, tears coming from his eyes, ונופלות בכוסיהן, and the tears go into the cup of the wine. ועל אותה שעה, on this moment, נחתם גזר הדין. says the Gemara, on this moment, Hashem decided to destroy Bet HaMikdash. He come to such a level, נחתם גזר בית המקדש. Finish. What the Gemara says over here? Here, if you look in this story, it's not Avera. He didn't marry Eshet Ish. Chas v'shalom. He's big tzaddik, this guy. But Hashem hate that you're doing something when your heart is not good, but outside you, what, I do something wrong, I didn't do nothing. But inside, everything is rotten. What Hashem wants from us? That we do the action, you put tefillin, you wear tzitzit, you go to shul. What Hashem wants? Our heart, that we will be better, we will be better people. All the Torah and mitzvot is only to order that we're going to act better. And if you keep Torah and mitzvot 120 years, and you stay with the same anger, and the same ga'ava, and you still didn't change a bit in your character, in your midot, so what all the Torah and mitzvot, what it did for you? That the Rambam says, for example, if you have $1,000, what is better? To give $1,000 to one poor, or to give $1,000 to $1 to each poor? 1,000 poors. What's better?
1,000.
Says the Rambam, it's better to give $1 to each poor. Why? In order to exercise the giving. Give 1,000 times, you exercise the giving. You exercise the giving, maybe one day you will be giver. A giver person, it's different person. We all the time, all the Torah just to exercise, do the mitzvot, in order we will be better people. So what Hashem wants? Our heart, not the action. If you have the action, and you didn't do, your heart is not shalom, is not pure with Hashem, is only the beginning, but if you, all your life you just do the action and the action, you come to shul, put tefillin, talit, today, don't know, you pray, you're thinking about the Yankees. It's good for the, training, but till when? This week parasha, we read in Parashat Nedarim. Somebody make a vow, I think it's called neder. You have to, lo yachel devar, whatever you took out from your mouth, you have to do. You have to keep. Right? Says the Gemara, when Rabbi Akiva came to this week parasha, he used to cry. What to cry? I wasn't sure. I didn't know what he cried. Rabbi Akiva used to cry. Why? The Torah said over there, that let's say a woman says, I will not eat apples. She make a neder. Now her husband could make the neder that is not valid. Mafer the neder. He says the neder not good. Now he did it. The husband says your neder is 0. But she didn't hear about it. And she thought the neder still exists. And she went and she had an apple. She did avera or not? The action was no avera, because her husband says no neder. But inside in your brain, what's going on now? She thinking, I'm doing something against Hashem. The Torah says, "V'Hashem yislach la." They need tshuva v'chapara. Why you thinking something against HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even if you didn't do anything against Him? Because you're thinking against Hashem, it's also avera. You know what the thinking? It's something inside. In the action, you didn't do nothing. Let's say, Israel wants to attack Iran. There is a nuclear over the nuclear, the one that attack him. So let's say the prime minister calls the chief of staff on the army and told him, listen, tomorrow, 5 a.m., all the F-16 go and you destroy all the nuclear bases over there. He was 9 o'clock in the night. Told him 5 in the morning, 5 a.m. you're going to send the army. Okay. 11 p.m. Who called him? The president of Iran. Told him, listen, I heard that's what you're thinking. If you stop it, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to deposit for you $50 million in Switzerland bank. Just stop it. And the chief of staff in Israel will say, let me think about it. And he will hang up the phone. And then he will call him an hour later and tell him, listen, I can't do it. I can't do it to my country. I can't do it to my people. What do you think about this chief of staff? If you will be the prime minister, will let him to stay in this position? Huh? But he didn't do it in the end. Will not let him stay 1 second. How you even thought about it? What do you mean let me think about it? You have a machshava thinking against your nation, against your Am Yisrael? Let's say somebody go to Eshet Ish and start to convince her, mefateh, and she says, let me think about it. What her husband will say? And then she told him, no, Chas v'Shalom, I have my husband, come on. What her husband will say? Psh, it's a good wife, huh? Or opposite, don't think it's only one side. If the woman come to the husband, tell him, you know, and he says, let me think about it. What do you mean think about it? You're not allowed to think against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He give you food, He give you health, He give you breathing. How you could think against Him? So Hashem is Rahman. He knows that we, yes, big Yetzer Hara, and we sometimes thinking against Hashem. But then Navi keep on telling us, Hashem wants our heart. He does not need the action. In this week parasha, in the Haftarah, we're going to read with Shabbat Chazon. Lama lirov zivchechem yomar Hashem. I don't need you korbanot. I don't need you come to shul. I don't need you savati parim. I don't need the korbanot. I don't need mi vikesh zot miadchem remos chatzerai. I don't need you to come to shuls. I don't need you. I need your heart. Rachmana liba bae. If you have a good heart and you keep the Torah and the mitzvot, the Torah and the mitzvot supposed to go and make a change inside you, not only action from outside. And the machshava, the thinking, is what we different from the animals. The dibur and the machshava, it's the highest level in the person. If somebody think avera is worse than the avera himself, you know. הרהורי העבירה קשים מהעבירה. The dibur, Hashem created the world. How Hashem created the world? By the dibur. When we speak, that's why it's a neder. When we speak, we're taking out from outside, from inside, outside, whatever we thinking. And there is very high level to the speaking. I, by speaking, could make something non-kosher. I say, I need make a neder. No apples, no apples. You're not allowed to eat. It's for you like a pig. It could be. You say, you know, there is a story. There is a story. There is a sefer Kada Kemach. He says, in Tehilla LeDavid, how people will wake up. You know, what's the order? Who is going to wake up first? In Tehilla LeDavid. He says no. He says it's going according to the aleph bet of your name. If your name is Avram or Ariela, I don't know, you wake up first. Then bet. Because Hashem give us chaim with the words, with the dibur. So whatever your name first is the aleph bet, you wake up first. And he says, but there is someone, he's above everybody, and even if his name is tough, he's going to be first. You know who is it? Somebody is anav, he's humble. Anavim yirshu aretz, katuv. The pasuk says, the anavim, somebody is anav, he's going to be the first one. Even if his name is Tomer, or whatever. He's going to be, because somebody is humble, so he's the first one. So, we see that Hashem in His Word creates the world. Hashem in His Word, whatever He says, David HaMelech says, Aseh imi ot letova. What's the ot? Because he was supposed to not born. He was supposed to be nefel, and Hashem do with him chesed and give him life by the dibur, through the dibur. There is a Gemara in Masechet Sukkah. The Gemara discuss the Churban. And over there, the Gemara says a story in the end of the Masechet Sukkah. Maaseh b'Miriam bat Milgai was one girl that she went and she married some of the Greece against the Jewish people. And with the Greece going into the Bet Hamikdash, she went with them. Her husband, the Goy, was one of the officers in the Greece, and she went with him. And she took her sandal, the Gemara says, and she took her shoe, and she banged on the Mizbeach. And she says, locus, locus. Locus in Greece is Ze'ev. How do you say Ze'ev? Fox? Wolf. Wolf. Ze'ev, Ze'ev. He says, locus, locus. Ad matay ata mechale mamonam shel Israel. Till when you're going to take all the people money? People go and spend money for korbanot, give it to you. After, when the Bet Mikdash was back to the Jews, they says, this family that Miriam bat Bilga came from, there is a sign in the Bet Hamikdash that this family, Miriam bat Bilga came from this family, forever. Each mishmara, each family in the Bet Hamikdash of the Kohanim has certain spot to put the stuff, knife and whatever they need, and over there it was closed. That family says, this is the family of Miriam bat Bilga came from this family. Why? What's the family supposed to be? What's the business of the family if the kid didn't go in the right way? Says the Mefarshim, what she heard in the house. Oof, why we have to bring korban? Oof, what we have to close the store on Shabbat? Oof, why we have to lose money again? Why we have to... You could keep your store closed on Shabbat, but you complain about this whole day. So what's the kid here? It's hard to be Jew. It's too much rules. You have to do too much. You know, I was going to Manhattan. There's also too much rules. You can't park everywhere. Right? You go, here no left, here no right. You go, all the street smells from the, what do you do over there? Shish kebab? Huh? Halal meat. I don't know, all the street, a lot of smell. And many rules, and still 47 million tourists coming here. Why? You could go to Manhattan, it says, oof, 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 but you could go in and enjoy it. Whatever, if somebody live in a house that everything is the Torah is heavy, so Miriam bat Bilga come from this house. And therefore this family, let's close and write that this family Miriam bat Bilga came from. Because we have to do the Torah in simcha and itlaavut. Was a big rabbi in Europe that used to sleep on bed only in Shabbat. All the week, he used to sleep on the table. When he finished to learn, wake up. One night, he wake up his wife, 2 a.m. Wake up, what happened? Make me a cup of tea. Let's drink together. What happened? I have an answer on the kushya of the Rambam. I thought about it a long time, and now I have an answer. Let's celebrate it. She told him, she was a very smart lady, and she told him, no, you always have a question on your answers, so I know nothing, it's not worth it to make a celebration now. So he says, okay. And then he wakes up 1 hour later, says, no, I know it's the final answer. It's good. Let's drink a tea together. And in the morning, he told this story to one of his friends. His friend told him, I don't understand. Why you wake up your wife? It's Gezel Shana. So he looked at him and says, you're full of the moon, I think. Let's say somebody called you at 2 a.m. and telling you that you have a grandson. Your daughter just gave birth, you have a grandson. You're not going to wake up your wife? Let's say they call you and says you just win 50 million in the lotto. You're not going to wake up your wife? For me, that I haven't answered the question on the Rambam, it's like I have a grandson. I'm so happy. I have something inside that really you're happy from the right thing. What people happy today? From what? Eat steak? Sushi? You're happy from the right thing. From something that really, really keeps you forever and ever. You know, Rabbi Yitzchak Barditchev, Zecher Tzadik Kadosh Livracha, lived 400 years ago. He couldn't sleep in the night of Sukkot. He all the time looked at his watch. When is the morning? I want to take the lulav and the Arbat Aminim. I didn't take it for 1 year. When is morning already? He couldn't sleep. Says, like somebody, you know, has something on his head. I know people wake up in the first day of Sukkot, 11 a.m., no problem. He couldn't go to sleep, that he was so in besimcha that he could fulfill mitzvah of that meaning. That's what Hashem wants from us. Don't take the lulav, shake it, and wait till the last minute to buy the etrog for $10. You could do the mitzvah, but it's not the same. We're not coming to this in 1 second, but we have to practice and practice and practice. Till then, Be'ezrat Hashem will be there. You could do mistake in your life, I'm not saying, but you can live in mistake. You know, I always go to Israel, and my son, when he comes with me, he's so confused. You see a guy, my parents live in Ramat Gan, going down the stairs in Shabbat, and I see a guy that he coming out from his house, he has a mezuzah. But he coming out from his house in Shabbat with telephone. Hello, how are you? What you doing? And my son tell me, is it Jewish? Is it Jewish? Is it Jewish? So what's going on? How could be? The mezuzah and speaking on the phone, well, how could be together? People could live 100 years with contradiction. I saw an ad in one of the newspapers in Brooklyn. They want to advertise about renting apartment. And it says over there, close to the beach and to shul. in deal. The one is selling in deal. Close to the beach. And I said, which guy go to the beach and the shul? They told me, what do you mean? Oh, everybody. They need both of them. People could go in the morning to the beach and afternoon to the class. Which is, according to all the poskim, to go to mixed swimming, it's yaharek ve'al ya'avor almost. Sniper says yaharek ve'al ya'avor. I'm not, I'm not giving halachot, but it's, what do you mean? The Gemara says, if somebody change money with woman, and he in thinking to look at her, afilu yesh beyado, even if he has Torah or mitzvot u'ma'asim tovim like Moshe Rabbeinu, lo yinakeh medina shel gehenom. That's the Gemara says. Why? Because you say, I'm a good guy, I'm tzaddik, I'm changing money. What do you mean? עד כדי כך, the Gemara says, זה כל כך חמור. So, kosher cruise, right? What kosher cruise? The food is kosher, but that's it. Everything is taref. The same pools, the same gambling, the same movies, the same shows, the same thing, everything. You could live with contradiction 100 years. And therefore Eliyahu Hanavi, when he says to the people, Ad matay atem poschim al shtei haseifim, till when you have both worlds, decide, either you belong to the beach or you belong to the Kollel, decide. And he told them this line, Im Hashem hu Elokim, lechu acharav. Im Baal hu Elokim, lechu acharav. If Hashem is right, go after Hashem. If Baal, the Avodah Zarah, is right, go after the Baal. How you could tell them go after the Baal, Eliyahu Hanavi? How you could tell them such a thing? To go after the Baal, Avodah Zarah? You know what Eliyahu Hanavi mean? He mean to say that If you go after the Baal, I'll be able to save you. I'll be able to convince you. Could take you back. But if you one day like this, who is most hard to להחזיר בתשובה, to become a karev? Somebody was learning Gemara when he was young. Rabbi, don't tell me, I know Gemara, I learned. He was learning Gemara till the age of 10 years old, or something, 11, then he's finished the yeshivot, he can't talk to him. If somebody was nothing, he didn't learn yeshiva at all, he didn't know what's the Torah, you tell him the story of Avraham, and he breaks the psilim, and he says, wow, I don't believe it, so nice. He told them, Im Hashem wa Elokim lecho, Im Baal Elokim, go after the Baal, I will make you coming back. I could work with you. Rivka, when she had Yaakov and Esav, when she went with the Batei Knesiot, shoes, Yaakov wants to come out. She went to Batei Avodah Zara, Esav wants to go. What she says, Lama ze anochi, vatelech lidrosh et Hashem. Why she was so panicking? She didn't know she has a twin. Let's say she went only Avodah Zara, he wants to go out. She will be panicking. She says, I can't have someone that go to the beach and the Kollel. So I told them, no, you have a twin. She said, oh, Baruch Hashem, thanks God. But I can't have them both. Because these people never will change. Therefore, in Yom Kippur, in the end of Yom Kippur, what we're saying 7 times, Hashem hu Elokim. That's what the Jewish people says after the story with Eliyahu Hanavi, with Nevi Baal. The fire came out from Shamayim, and everybody says, Hashem hu Elokim, Hashem hu Elokim. And that's why we're saying it in Yom Kippur. We went to say to Hashem, we want to be only with you. If you tell your wife, I love you, 99%, 0.999, but 1%, I love the neighbor. What she said?
You don't.
Why? 99%, 0.99. She wants 100%, not even 1 little percent. He can't give nothing. That's what Hashem wants from us. Nothing. That's what Hashem wants from us. 100%. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying, but Hashem, like we said in the story in the Gittin, Hashem Rachmana li babai. Hashem wants the inside of us. You have to work on it slowly, till Bezrat Hashem, you're going to be those people like Rab Chaim Kanievsky. I heard this week, his wife made him coffee 11 o'clock in the morning. And the student asked him, Rabbi, when you drink coffee 11 o'clock, you usually don't drink. Like today, all the people drinking, all day. All day the mouth has to work. Can't stop. But he says, you never drink 11 o'clock. Why are you drinking? He says, I finished Masechet Megillah. Siyum Masechet. So you drink a cup of coffee. That's people that really connected to the Torah. They have nothing in the world. But we live in the world, but we have to work on ourselves to be such a people with heart. With Rachmana li babai. That's what build Bet Hamikdash. If we're going to be like this story of Shulia the Nagre, that we say we do everything, but inside the person stay rotten, and he could do the worst thing in the world, like this Eshetish, go around and around and around and get it, that Hashem says, this destroy Bet Hamikdash. I don't need your tefillot, I don't need your Shabbat, I want your heart. This tefillot and Shabbat will cause you in the end that the heart will be with me. But if we left only with the action, that's not what Hashem wants from us. And every time that we have to work on something in this world, I ask myself many times that today is a lot of divorces going on. Never was before. In any community that I ask, in Bukharians, if they went to, before they came to America, not so much. In Morocco, not so much. One guy told me in Khaleb, you come to the rabbi, I want divorce, tell you, go back, come in 18 months. Some guy told me his parents go to the rabbi, says they want divorce, and go home. Struggling. You're gonna, until today, the family still exists. What happened today that in every, even in the frum community, it started to grow? What happened?
They expect too much more.
I think that the world changed. The Torah says, Adam le'amal yulad. A person came to this world for amal. What's the amal? To toil, to work. Now I remember when I was a kid, if I want to hear a tape of Mordechai ben David, I went to buy this tape and I had only one. I used to hear it all day. And if I want to change the song, I have to wait till the end. And I have to take it out and to turn around and put it back. And sometimes you took a pen, you put it inside, you want to move it. Today, I have the phone. Which song you want? You have 1,000 songs. Tuck, boom, you have the song. You want to send it to the end? Go to the end. In a second. You don't have to wait nothing. I used to hear one tape, 20 days, around and around and around. No other song. Today, you have all the song. Whatever you want, you have inside. You don't have to work for a second. And if it's too slow, this phone is garbage. Give me 4G, 3G, I don't understand even the language. You have to have it fast. If it's not fast, it's not worth anything. Why? We don't want to toil. If it's hard, it's not for me. You go to learn language. Used to be language to learn, you have to go to university. You have to work 1 year. Today, give you 4 CDs. 20 days, money back if not. Don't work. You can't work. And if the life that people want is with no amal, so therefore, when you come to Shalom bayit, when you have to toil so much, what do you mean? Leave me from this wife, I'm got a different wife. Come on. They don't want to toil. It's too hard. It's too hard. And in the olden days, just to have a breakfast, you know what they're supposed to do? There's no fridge. The person has to wake up in the morning, he has to go to take woods, and then to go find a fire, and then to go to the well to bring the water, and then to go to bring the cafe from the tree, and then to grind it, and then to go to the cow to make a milk. How long is it?
Feed the cow.
And today you have a coffee machine, and there is somebody told me he put a Shaon Shabbat, before the morning, and in the morning when he wakes up, the coffee is ready, prepared for him. Doesn't have to wait. Nothing. You go into the car today, you turn on the car, the hege come to you. You don't have to go to him. There is a AC. So I went to the guy car. I see AC. There is temperature. It used to be no temperature. Today 69, 67, 68. And now the guy that sits next to the driver, he has different temperature than the guy that in the driver's seat. Chas v'shalom. That he's going to be 69 and you're going to be 60. Can't be. So I told him, what do you mean two temperature? You sit next to each other. So he told me, Shalom bayit. If I want 69, my wife wants 67, we don't fight. That's it. I told him, this is not Shalom bayit. Shalom bayit is both of you agree to one number. There is a kigel, Shalom bayit kigel it's called, right? There is 3 levels. Whatever you want, there is inside. fight. This one kigel like this. It's called Shalom bayit kigel. Shalom bayit is mean that you agree on one thing and you be able to work and which will agree to another. But if, Morai v'Rabotai, the separation is the Shalom bayit, I have my own, you have your own, the kids not connected, the kids have an iPad, he put his, I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to Yerushalayim, we had the chipushit, how do you call it today? The Volkswagen, the small, huh? Bilo? Bido. We had 4 kids in the back, squished, and my parents in the front, and all the time, move, fighting, this, that. Okay, but we had a connection. We're fighting, we're screaming, and all the time. Today there is van. I have this van, 8 passengers, 4 kids, each one has 2 seats. Put his iPad. We're going to the mountain, put this iPad, and he go to his world. Maybe his brother will die next to it, he's not even going to realize. Because he's so into himself. He's not even connected. He wants to speak with his brother. He sent him a text. You want to tell something to your wife, you send her a text from the 2nd floor to the 1st floor. What happened? You can't move. You're not allowed to walk. You're not allowed to sweat. And the Torah says this will cause destruction. Because Hashem created the world that you have to walk. If you're not going to work on this, you're going to work on something else. You have to work. And that's why today there is so much psychology busy. $400 an hour, $400 an hour, $500 an hour. People, they go to psychologists, pills, this. I'm frustrated, I'm dikaon, all the... What happened? Because once you don't toil, you go against the nature of the human being. And therefore, you don't know how to handle yourself. And Hashem says, you have to toil. You have a wife, you have a husband, you have to work together. It's hard. But you have to make it. Don't say, okay, you don't want, Shalom, see you. You have 4 kids. Come on. I don't care. My secretary look better. Shem Yerachem. He can toil. Doesn't want to work. And Chas v'Shalom. If you don't work, so you get, Hashem says, if you don't work, you don't toil, so you get all this Chas v'Shalom, dikonot, frustration, because people jump on the roof because they have too much everything in this world. You go to the grocery today, you go to ShopRite, you see 1,000 kind of breads. You know, so much shefa Hashem give us in this world, everything to our door. And therefore we don't toil, and if you don't toil, we go in the wrong way, and if you go in the wrong way, you coming to this result. What's the hardest tefillah in the day? Shachris, you wake up, you're doing it. Ma'ariv, you pray, you know, you come home from wedding, you take, you remember, oh, I didn't done with Arvit, you take your shoe from Na'ale bayit, your slippers, one you, one your wife, and you pray Arvit for 1 second. You do it in the night, but the hard tefillah is mincha. Why mincha is the middle of the day? You have to stop everything and you have to say, now I'm going to be connected to Hashem. I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to do something else. To pray to Hashem. You know, it's called mincha, it's called sh'at ratzon. It's a love time. Like your husband and the wife, you know, when he wants to show her that he think about her, he will call her in the middle of the day. And he tell her, how are you? How is the day is going? And she's thinking, wow, he was thinking about me. I can't believe it. He was so happy. Why? If he says good morning in the morning, she wasn't so happy. But if she called in the middle of the day and he says, how is your day? She's very happy. Why? Because you see, he was stopping in the middle. Because you see, where is your heart? You could do your action, but where is your heart? Your heart is with Hashem. We had one of the rabbis in the Gemara that went away from the derech. His name is Elisha ben Avuya. His name is Acher, Elisha ben Avuya. Why, when he was after he was big rabbi, he started to get up from the derech? He was a rabbi of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir used to go after him in Shabbat. He was driving on the horse. He was going on the horse. And Rabbi Meir used to walk on him and learn from him Torah. And he was Mechalel Shabbat. And he learned from him Torah. What caused him, Acher, to go away from the derech? The Gemara says something unbelievable. When he was born, his father was big tzaddik. And he invited all the rabbis to the Brit. And the rabbi used to sit in the table and to talk divrei Torah. And the fire came out from Shamayim. And he sees the fire, his father, and says, I want the son will be Talmid Chacham, like those rabbis. And the Gemara says, since he didn't do it L'Shem Shamayim 100%, and because he liked the kavod, the honor of the fire, that's what caused him to went off the derech. Because he wasn't 100% L'Shem Shamayim. He was negiut. He was something that you want to honor something. You know what's a big heart 100% to Hashem? There is a rabbi, one of the Gdolei HaChasidut, named Rabbi Zusha Me'anpoli. You heard about him? Rabbi Zusha Me'anpoli is brother of Noam Elimelech. You heard about him? Huh? Rabbi Zusha. Rabbi Zusha, he was so poor. I tell you, remember the story to tell you. I'll tell you a different story now. But Rabbi Zusha was so poor. He has a Rebbe. His Rebbe is Jose Milublin. Rav Horvitz, kacha karu, that was the name of his Rebbe. One time, the student of his Rebbe, the student came to the Jose Milublin and told him, Rabbi, how could be the Mishnah says that a person has to be mevarech al tova like the ra'ah? You have to say thank you to Hashem that when you win $1 million, like if you lost $1 million, same thing, in same happiness. The Mishnah says you have to be thank to Hashem when you lose $1 million, like if you win $1 million. How could be? Because you know everything is for good. Everything has a reason. Everything from Shamayim. So he told them, it's very hard question. It's very, very hard question. Let me send you to one that I think will know the answer to the question. So they sent him to Rav Zusha Me'anpoli. And this student went to Rav Zusha, and he went to his house, and they knocked on the door. The door almost fell because it was broken door. They went to the house, freezing. It was no heat. Everything was broken. It was poor. The clothes was ripped. And he was sitting on the table, learning Torah, with small candles. Nothing in the house, nothing to eat. And they went and tell him, listen, your Rebbe sent us to you. What do you want? We want us to ask you a question. How could be a person could be mevarech al tova ve'al ra'ah the same thing? Bad thing or good thing? You have to bless Hashem the same thing, the same semicha. He answered, Rabbi Zusha told him, he sent him to me? I never had anything bad in my life. I don't know why he sent him to me. Everything is good. We said every morning, Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam she'asa li kol tzarki. What does it mean? Hashem, I'm settled. Everything that I need, I have. Kol tzarki. I don't need nothing anymore. Thank you. Could it be such a thing? So I want to tell you a story about Rav Zusha. Rav Zusha one time, he went to buy something from his daughter. His daughter getting engaged, he need to buy her something. And he had $200 in his pocket, and he went to buy her something. In the middle of the way, he heard that there is a wedding going on. And it used to be the walking in the street with a wedding, with the music. And he was seeing the wedding, and all of a sudden it stopped. And the kala started to cry. He says, what's going on? Why is it stop? Why the kala start to crying? He went to the kala, and the kala says, my mother, what happened? He went to the mother. The mother says, listen, I was supposed to bring money to the wedding. My husband passed away, and I was supposed to bring money to the wedding, and the tzadok in the side of the chatan wants the money, but I lost the money. I don't have the money. And they don't want to continue the wedding without the money. And that's why everything stopped. Rav Zusha says, how much money? She said, $200. He says, I found it. Wow, I can't believe it. And they start to sing and to be happy, and took him, Rav Zusha, and start to dance with him, and give him kavod, and respect him, and tell him, you're such an unbelievable person, how you find it? And he returns the Avedah, even though you don't have to. You turn the lost object, even if you don't have to money. And he says, okay, but I want one thing. He takes them, he said, I want 50% to myself since I found it. They told him, what? We can't believe you. They start to hit him, and they start to curse him, and make him a lot of bizyonot. And he says, when he came back to his Rebbe, Jose Milublin, the Rebbe asked him, why did you ask for, I know you. You never asked for money back. Why you ask 50%? He says, when I saw the respect they give me, I want to do the mitzvah without respect. I want to do the mitzvah without people praising me. 100% to Hashem. When somebody praises you for the mitzvah, it takes you away. You get kavod. It's not anymore 100%. We're not in this madriga, we're not this level, but we have to come to this level that kol ma'asenu iyu l'shem shamayim. Everything inside is l'shem shamayim. And if someone is in such a level, his life is so happy. The Reb Chaim Volozhin was a student of the Gaon Mivilna, and he says, I wish my olam haba will be like olam hazeh of the Gaon. I wish I will be pleasure in olam haba like the Gaon Mivilna had in olam hazeh. You know what's to be connected to Torah mitzvot, how happy you are? When you see a piece of cake and you're in a diet, what is better, to eat the cake, to feel the taste, the enjoyment of the cake, or to conquer your ta'ava and not eat it? When you're more happy? When you go next to the cake and you don't touch it. You feel $1 million. It's more sweet than the cake himself. It's more sweet than the cake. Because you eat it for 2 seconds, that's it. But if you conquered something, you will be very happy inside. This happiness, no one could take it. And Hashem wants us to be happy. And He says, the only way is to toil. And since you toil, then it becomes part of you. Then you become to do the mitzvot from the heart. And then you come to Shema after 120, Shalom. That I was coming to this world with a lot of anger, with a lot of ga'ava. And I want to give tzedakah and everything to myself. And I left this world totally different person. Every kid come to this world, he wants to grab everything from everybody. Everything's belong to me. Doesn't want to share. When he comes to 4 years old, you only then you start to tell him, listen, you have to share. He says, what does it mean to share? I don't know this world. This world doesn't exist by a kid. Then you have to give him candy if you share. Oh, okay. So now take the candies, maybe it's good to share. But if no candy, chas v'shalom, I'll never share. No, you have to share, you have to give. And there is kids that don't grow up. Till 80s, they're like this. They're sitting in Bet Avot and they're still fighting with a roommate. It's me, it belongs to me, it's fighting, something. Didn't change. 80 years in this world, nothing changed. Everything belongs to me, 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 me. And same characters stay, and he keep Torah and mitzvot 80 years. The Rambam says there is a concept, it's called Naval Birshut HaTorah. You know what they mean, Naval Birshut HaTorah? Naval Birshut HaTorah, it's mean, let's say I'm going to a restaurant and I says, please give me 4 steak and 10 bottle of Coke and 4 beers. I make any isur of the Torah? I did any avera? Didn't do any avera. But the Rambam says if you behave like this, you naval, you keep all the Torah, but you don't a person that Hashem wants you to be. Because you go after you ta'avot and yetzer hara, and you're thinking to do it in the right way. That's Shulia de Nagre. That's the story of the Churban. I do whatever I want, just I'm doing it in the way that Hashem, any avera. Where does it say in the Torah? איפה כתוב בתורה that you're not allowed? One time the Chafetz Chaim says, this and these things, it's against the Torah. Someone asked him, where it's written in there? Where is the Torah? Where does it say? He said, it says over here. There is something, it's called your heart. If you feel in the heart is against Hashem's will, is against the Torah, even if it's not written in the Torah. Not everything has to be written in the Torah. Hashem leave us space in order that we understand what He wants. What He really wants from us. He leave us a space to understand me. I can't tell you everything. Like your wife tell you something in hint you, she wants you to understand. She doesn't have to tell you. If I have to tell you, it's nothing. It's not worth anything. If I have to tell you exactly what I want, you don't understand me. It's zero. But it's work, and then we need that Hashem will help us. In order to rebuild the Bet Hamikdash, we need to be a people with a heart, with a lev, Rachmana liba bai, like we said. The Torah wants our heart. And our heart will be only with the toil. When we're going to walk, when we're going to try to work on ourselves. Not everything easy. Not everything easy in life. We're not supposed to be easy. If it's easy, it's not good. Some says, like you go in the bicycle, if you go up, it's hard. If you go easy, you're down. So sometimes it is hard, you have to work. It's hard to wake up in the morning to pray. It's sometimes hard to learn, but it's good. It's the sweetest thing in the world. If somebody leave a class and he went out, I will tell him, listen, give me the sachar that Hashem give you now in Shamayim for this class. I will give you $1,000 for it. He will give me? Huh? I want you sachar, that olam haba, that you get in this hour now. I went outside, says, I give you $1,000. No one will do it. Because everybody feel that it touches his heart and he's understanding, become a better person, and he know that he has big share in Shamayim. Chelek la'olam haba. And he doesn't want to sell it for nothing. That's exactly what we are. But we have to work on ourselves, not to live in two worlds, not to be Esav and Yaakov together, of the Abad, of the Avodah Zarah, beach and this all the time, go back and forth. You could do mistake, everybody do mistake. Sheva yipol tzadik vekam. You could do mistake, but not live in the life of contradiction, because this is not what Hashem wants, to live in contradiction. You can, in Israel, Lag BaOmer fall out in Motzai Shabbat. So the rabbi was scared the people will do medura, they will fire for Rabbi Shimon on Shabbat. Who could make Lag BaOmer fire on Shabbat for Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? The people will do it. How it could be? Because people don't think. You know how many families do Kiddush Leil Shabbat and watch movies and go after with a car? A lot of families. If you're in the beginning, if you're the right beginning, okay. But you have to be the solution. One day, what I'm doing? I'm confused my kids. Where am I? I'm in the right way, not in the right way. How long we have to do two things that contradict themselves? Be'ezrat Hashem, if Hashem will help us, so the Bet Hamikdash will be rebuilt only if you will be 100% with Hashem. Hashem wants our heart, and that's this week, Haftarah Be'ezrat Hashem will read, that Hashem wants that we gonna come and be close to Him really, really, really. And we'll be able to give a lot for Hashem. Even if sometimes it's hard, but we know we have to give up because it's the right thing. There is a store in Brooklyn that this store, big supermarket. He wanted to, the guy there on the supermarket told me this story by himself. He told me he wanted to open supermarket in certain street. He pay already to the broker. He pay already to build the supermarket. He spent like quite $25,000. And then, few doors down, was a lady, almana, widow. She had a small grocery store, and she came to him and she told him, "Listen, if you're going to open this supermarket, I'm finished. I'm not going to have any parnasa, anything. You're going to take everything. Please don't do it." And he told her, "I can't, I invest already $25,000. I can't do it. I'm going to help you, whatever, I'm going to try to help you with money. I'll try to help you with customers, but I can't do it." And then he told me, one rabbi came to him and knocked on his door and told him, "Listen, you could do whatever you want, but don't start up with almanot. Don't start up with widow, because over there, Hashem says, Yishamua Ishma tza'akato. Hashem says, I will listen. Whenever the almana cried, Hashem listened." And he took the word of the rabbi and he closed this store and he opened in different place and he lost this $25,000. But he made a different supermarket, different place, and his success, and he makes a lot of money today. But he was nisayon. Test. You really could do it? Or you nice outside, you give donation, you give this, but inside you do something and ruin other people's life. And I was in Israel when it was the story with El Al. El Al started to fly on Shabbat. And I was in the room by Rab Chaim Kanievsky. And Rab Chaim Kanievsky is not speaking on the phone. He's not speaking, he doesn't have even the phone in his house. No phone. No cell phone and no regular phone, nothing. So one of his shamashim, helpers, I was there, and somebody called. He had 7 tickets from Israel to America. It's approximately $15,000. And Rab Chaim Kanievsky says this day he can't fly in El Al. Because the Mechalel Shabbat, don't fly with El Al. He says, I bought already the ticket. I have 7 tickets. So he told to the shamash, please ask the rabbi what I should do. And he asked the rabbi, this guy has 7 tickets, $15,000. What he should do? He has a flight tomorrow. The rabbi told him, it's sakone. It's dangerous to fly. Now what you will do? Where is the Emunat Chachamim? What Hashem wants? You have to lose money? I could lose money to do the right thing or not? There's something inside. There's something that no one could answer but you. In which level you are. If you be able to do it, is mean that you're inside, you're close to Hashem. And a lot of people do a lot of big things just because they're close to Hashem, and in every situation, they always think, what Hashem wants for me now. I know a rabbi in Israel, they said a shiur in yeshiva. He said a speech in the yeshiva, chidushim in Gemara, and he told them, when I was mechadesh, when I learned this, what I said now, he told them, where? I was in the Holocaust, and I wanted to light Hanukkah candle, and I didn't have water to wash my hands before the mitzvah, so I make some hole in pipe, and there is few waters coming down, and I wash my hands, and they catch me, and my punishment was they're going to tie me to the horse, and the horse will go all around the camp. And I was tied to the horse and jumping all around. And he says, when I was tied to the horse, I was thinking about this sugya, and I have this chidush that I'm telling you now. And I'm not so big tzaddik, but the Rambam says you have to learn Torah in every situation. So I did what the Rambam says. Even in such hard situation, I was be able to learn Torah. Because my heart all the time is with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And you know the story about this lady from Morocco? You probably heard it. She's buried in Morocco, and all the girls go to daven by her kever. Because she went in, and she didn't want to go with a goy, and they told her you have to get killed. And they also tied to the horse, and she says, "What your last wish?" My last wish is that when I'm going to go, they're going to tie me to the horse, and the horse will run. Maybe they're going to see something from my skin. I want to make sure. So she took her skirt and she sewed it to her leg, in order that no one will see nothing. And she's today in Morocco buried, and all the people go to her to ask and to be mitpalel on the kever. Those people, everything was connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu 24/7. And he says, what Hashem wants for me now, what my heart telling me to do, what's the right thing to do. If I don't ask a rabbi, what Hashem want me to do, what I supposed to do now. And if someone behave like this, he's building another stone in Bet Hamikdash. But if we live in generations that outside everything, he come to shul looking big tzaddik, but inside is rotten, in the computer, in the TV, in all the bad things. He's only, daven like this, but inside is rotten. You know how many stories I heard about people that catching them in all kinds of situations. Hashem Yerachem. Why? We Purim kol hashana. We behaving like Purim. Mask. There is people come to shul Yom Kippur. Ladies cover the hair and this. They're thinking today is Purim. It's not Purim. It's Kippurim. Don't dress. It's not. You have to behave like this all year. Not only in Yom Kippur, but Bezrat Hashem, Yom Kippur is a start to what we really are. And that's what Hashem, if we Bezrat Hashem will be like this, Hashem will see that you really try in this hard time, very hard nisyonot in this generation. I said once, I don't remember if I said it here, but I said that Hashem gave us this nisyonot. We probably live in the time, the most biggest nisyonot that will ever happen in history. And Morai ve'Rabotai, why Hashem give it to us? Why Hashem didn't give it to the Rambam? You know, if the Rambam had iPhone, he used to throw it from the window. Why they give it to us? We are already fragile people. We're already weak. Hashem gave it to us because we about to see Mashiach. And the candle, in the last minute, he give all his strength. Once it's the last minute, Hashem give all his strength, all his kochot. And the Yetzer Hara now put all his kochot in order that catch us. And if someone will stay connected to Borei Olam, in the last galut, in the last time before Mashiach, then he'll be able to see the order Mashiach. And the nisyonot will be greater and greater, bigger and bigger. And we have to stay pure, tahor, and kadosh, all through this nisyonot, in order that we'll be able to see the Mashiach. Yasis alayich elokaich kimsos chatan and kala. When Mashiach will come, Hashem was so happy to see us. You know, when the chatan got to cover the kala, he didn't see her for a week. His heart is beating. She didn't see him for the week. She couldn't talk to him. You know which simcha is it? That's the simcha will be when we'll see the pnei of Hashem. We're waiting you so much. Where are you? You mistater. You are hitting yourself. Behind all the iPhone and the internet, you're eating. We want to see you. We can't see you. When the Mashiach will come, we could see you. But these people will not be able to see it. Because if you not pass this nisyonot, we can't see Hashem. And we need to, Kadosh Baruch Hu now, He give us all the biggest nisyonot in the world to see who is going to be strong, and Be'ezrat Hashem will be zocheh to see Mashiach Tzidkenu v'Rabbi Amenu Amen.